Let's start with your language. I got one people's outline so far, but some of you may tend to send it in the envelope on Monday. I'll show you something. If I can get to show it, let's see. Look under the setting for my iPad.
Whoa.
See that stack of papers?
Yeah.
Those are all going back to you. Not you, Giselle, but to all of you.
Funny.
So there are a lot of papers there. All right, so let's look at the next part here, what we're going to be talking about for language and an assignment you are going to get. In thinking about, look, now I'm tired of asking, and I of course expect you to do it, but I know how you guys are sometimes, that you just don't do your work. So I'll have to ask, how many of you did not read 210? That was your only assignment for yesterday. That was your only assignment, Yuri, yesterday. That was it for language.
Give me the charger.
You're supposed to write it. Look, guys, you're supposed to have your book with you, and you're supposed to write the assignment down in that book. That's why I leave that space in the little squares there so you can write those in. So make sure you have that, and you write them in when I give them to you. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, 9 people. Somebody, we lost somebody. Who we lose? Ella and Angelica, can you turn your cameras on, please? All right, so let's look at page 210 then. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the writing process to do the assignment, which is to write a report of about 150 words on Helen Keller using the information from the encyclopedia article. Okay, now a report would include more than one paragraph. Okay, now you'd be surprised though, 150 words is not a lot of words. It doesn't take long to write 150 words. They're very, very easy to do. Here comes Nathan. And so as we read through this, what I want you to focus on are a couple of things. I'm thinking about your assignment that you had for your research report that you would have done. In fact, let's go over there really quickly. 220, 20, I want you to go to 229, 28. Yuri, 228, your book. Angelica, does your phone just keep timing out? Is that what it is? It's really like Dunkin' Donuts. Does it keep timing out? Yeah, I thought so. Okay. All right, so on that model for a preliminary outline, notice that they've broken down the person you would have been doing as your report into 3 categories: their early life, their achievements, and their later life. Okay, makes sense? And each of those sections are broken down by things that you can get in there. All right, so what I am going to do, and this is what we're going to do together. Okay, we're gonna do this little report together. We're going to go back to that page, 212. I'm sorry, not 212. What was it? 210. And we're going to start to write information and figure out where it would go. Okay. So I'm going to use this, my board here. So pay close attention. And I need you also to get some paper so we can write this down together, okay? So go ahead and get a piece of paper out. Make sure you get some paper. Angelica, you change backgrounds on your screen more than you do shoes, which is a good bit of times. All right, so everybody has paper? All right, I'm sharing a board here with you so that we can write some information down. All right, so first we're gonna read it together. So I'm gonna have some of you do that, and I'll just call on you to get ready to read. We're still waiting for a couple of people, it looks like, so. Smooth.
Matthew, hurry up.
Yes, Chromebook 6 C721.
What are the pages? Where are we on?
What are we on? Page 210 right now. But we looked over at page 228, I think it was, for information. We're trying to discover if you were going to be writing your actual research report, what information you'd be looking for. And so we're going to use that as our guide. And we're going to look for three main things: early life, achievements, and later life. Okay? And so I'm gonna go through the process with you while we're doing this so that we can get this information. But I need you guys to write it on your paper, okay? So that I know that because you're going to be using that information to do your own thing later on. Does that help? You understand? Okay. All right. Now we're going to read this article together first. So we'll start with Tejas, if you would go ahead and start there about Helen Keller.
Okay.
In 1960, brought courage and hope to deaf and blind people all over the
Where
world.
are you?
I'm on the top.
Page 210.
Yeah.
Oh, you're up. You're very top. I'm just talking about the article. We're only reading the article.
Oh. Helen Keller was born on June 27, 1880 in
Tuscumbia.
Alabama. When she was 18 months old, a serious illness destroyed her sight and hearing. Because of this, she was unable to speak. For the next 5 years, she was shut off from the world.
Okay, stop. David, go ahead. Oh, you didn't finish. Go ahead back to that sentence where he started. David, for the next 5 years.
In the next 5 years, she was shut off from the world, able only to scream and kick in her frustration. Her father took her to see Alexander Graham Bell, who advised him to write the Perkins for a teacher for Helen. The teacher that
Okay, you missed. No, you skipped a whole line there. Right, the Perkins what?
Perkins Institute for the Deaf and Blind in the teacher that was a 19-year-old orphan girl who remained with Helen and died in 1930.
Okay, Elijah, go ahead.
Anna Salvoon
Yeah, it's not Anna, it's just Anne.
worked out a way to speak words in
A minute, to what words? Really?
in
Is that what it says? Speak?
spell
Okay, go ahead.
words in the plane of
No,
Helen's hand.
do that. Go back to that word. There's no plane in a hand.
Palm
No.
palm
Yep,
of
there you go.
Helen's hand. Gradually, Helen began to connect the words with objects. Once she understood, she soon learned to read and write.
Braille is how you pronounce that.
She had a special typewriter on which she did her Writing.
Okay, Schlock?
What?
When Helen was 10, she begged to learn to speak with her voice instead of the sign language that she used. She learned by placing her fingers on a teacher's larynx,
It's like your voice box.
larynx and hearing the vibrations. Helen wrote about how she learned to speak in her book, The Story of My Life.
Okay, stop.
1902.
Anella?
When Helen,
Even though. We're below
even
there.
though her,
Huh?
even though her speech,
You got it. Yeah, go ahead.
even though her speech was difficult to understand, she could speak well enough to prepare
To go to
college and
preparatory. Yeah, preparatory.
preparatory school and to college. Anne Sullivan
Sullivan is how
spelled
you say that. Anne
all
Sullivan.
Anne Sullivan spelled all the lectures into her hand, and Helen graduated with honors. Helen then decided to devote her life to helping blind and deaf people.
Okay.
She traveled
And Alina, go ahead. You got to turn your microphone on, Alina.
She traveled and gave lectures in more than 25 countries, appeared before legislators, and wrote books and articles.
Okay,
She
hold on one
started-
second. All right, she didn't appear before legislators, but legislatures. The legislature is the body of all the legislators that are there. So that's the whole group of them. But go ahead and continue on.
She started the Helen Keller Endowment Fund of $2 million and asked for the help of many famous persons that she met.
Okay,
She was
Yuri?
Where are we? Because I got confused.
I'm sorry, what? Where are we, what?
Where are we?
We're on page 210. The article about Helen Keller.
What?
Page 210 in your language.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the article on Helen Keller. That's what we're reading.
Yeah. But
Well, we're on the right side below her picture. And it was where it starts off, she was invited.
Oh, okay. She was invited to the White House several times and was given many other honors and awards. During World War II, she worked with soldiers who had been blinded in the war.
Hey, Nathan, turn your microphone on.
Her books have been translated into more than 50 languages. They include The Story of My Life, 1902, Optimism, 1903, The World One I Live In.
No, the world I live
in, 1908, Out of the Dark, 1913, My Religion, 1929, Midstream, My Later Life, 1930, and Let Us Have Faith, 1940. Teacher, 1955, is about Anne Sullivan. The play The Miracle Worker was about Helen's learning, through her sense of
through her sense of touch, yeah.
through her sense
All right.
of touch.
So let's look at then the three areas. The three areas we had, according to what we had, was early life, all right, that was one area. Then we had achievements. And then we'll put LL for later life. All right, so reading through there, you're gonna have to raise your hand a little bit to so we can get some information as to what you think should go under any one of these parts. And I can't see everybody at once, so you're gonna have to turn your microphones on and say something
Hi.
without writing them ahead of time, Nathan. If you have one, though, you can tell us. Or you
is
just
that
write in,
in
yeah,
the-
you can just write the titles. You can write those 3 titles. That's fine. Categories. So who has one? Really, we just read the article. So there's nothing in there that you can figure out about her early life, her achievements, or her later life, huh?
She was destroyed. I mean, an illness destroyed her sight and hearing.
Okay. So she lost lost sight due to illness. So put that in there. All right. Yuri, go ahead.
What was the thing again?
What are you talking about?
What was the thing that we had to write just right now?
Do you not see the board? The whiteboard?
Ah,
Ah?
Ah.
You can't see it?
no, I see it.
Okay. So David, did you have one? You had your hand up earlier, I saw.
She was born on June 27, 1880.
Okay, so she was born on June 27th, 1880, and in Tuscumbia, Alabama. Okay, so you can write that under early life. All right. So you can see now what we're doing on this board is what you've done on note cards. Because usually you use note cards for the purpose of track of information, and then if you put one note on each card, you can organize them however you want to organize them. And so that's the purpose of having the note cards. But we're kind of just doing it on a list here right now, just for your report that you're doing. All right. What else can you come up with? Anybody else? Lots of other information. Let's get something for achievement. Okay, Nathan, go ahead.
She learned to write in Braille and learn things with her sense of touch.
Okay, so learn to write in Braille. Of course, first was to, we'll put that right in Braille. That's an achievement for somebody who was both deaf and blind. That was a near miracle, really. What was the other thing you said?
To learn with her sense of touch, like to learn things.
Learn with her touch, okay. All right, Ellie, you have one?
Yeah. She wrote a book, How to Speak in Her Book, like Story of My Life, in 1902.
Okay. Say that one more time because I couldn't quite hear it. There was a little bit of an echo there.
Helen wrote how she learned to speak in her book. The book was called
Oh, okay, so
My
she
Life.
wrote a book. Yeah, she wrote,
Yeah.
how old was she when she wrote that? How old?
22.
22, yeah. She wrote her first book at 22 called, and then you can just put the name of the book there. So go put the name of the book. It's The Story of My Life. You can even put, she wrote her first book at the age of 22, and it was called, and then of course you can put the name in there, The Story of My Life. Let's get something for later life. Okay, Yuri, go ahead.
She worked with soldiers who had been blinded in the war.
Okay, so she worked with soldiers blinded in war. I'll just put, you guys write the whole thing down. I can only come into the space here. Okay, so worked with soldiers and that were blinded during the war. One more later life thing. A lot of times in later life, in fact, here, before we do that, and I'll call on you in a second, Nathan. Before they do that, page 228. And look at some of the things that are in later life. See if there's somebody else here hasn't gotten a chance to answer yet. All right, go ahead, Tejas.
Her books have been translated more than 50 languages.
Okay, there you go. That's a good one for later life. Books have been translated into more than 50 languages.
Mr. Jones, I have another one.
Yeah, that's okay because we're stopping right now, and I'm giving you an assignment, so it's good to have those. So we have these. Basically, there are 2 for each part, just from that article already. Okay. Now you're going to have a lot more because this thing has a lot of information in it. So what you want to do is make sure all these 6 are written down first. But then go through that article and then use page 228 as your reference so you know the kind of information you want to look for. All right. And I want you to then try to create, well, first what I want to see is I want to see a list of your notes. So basically your assignment for today for this is to write as many notes as you can, putting them under the proper column.
Like
Okay.
we did there? Like
What's
we just
that?
did there?
One more time.
Like the notes we just did in these.
Stop. There's a delay, so hold on a second. Okay, what did you say?
Like we write notes under the 3 columns, like we're.
Yeah.
doing.
So the ones for early life, write those under there. The ones for achievements, write those under there. And the ones for later life, right under there. And whoever keeps writing on my board. Anyway, so that is going to be your assignment. And all I want you to do is write the notes right now. Okay? Any questions about that? All right. Because what we will be writing, you'll be writing your report, but I want to help you organize it first. And first thing you have to have is information. Now, when you are writing the different notes, take the information you have and put it into your own words. Okay? That way you'll be able to use your words of the information you learned, and you don't have to worry about trying to figure out the better way to say it. So if you're doing that as you take your notes, that makes it a lot easier in the end when you're actually writing the information down. Okay? Any questions? All right. Let's go ahead and now, does anybody need this board still before I erase it? I don't see anybody's hands. I don't hear anybody. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead to math then. That's your assignment for language. Write it in your book, Yuri. He's not even smiling. You are hearing me, right, Yuri? And he's knocking stuff over on his table, too.
What?
I said, make sure you write it in your book for your assignment. Okay. Please stop drawing on my board. Thank you. All right, so let's look at math today. Yesterday you had finding the least common multiple of 2 numbers. Don't forget to put your assignments, your math assignments, into the envelope for Monday. Of course, make sure they are complete. Make sure you show your work. Too many times people are just writing answers down, and it was obvious that they were just writing the answers down as I was giving them. Or maybe you're working on something else, but you got to show them on the paper too. All right, so writing mixed numbers as improper fractions. This is one of the easiest lessons. Okay, let me look at Giselle's face really quickly. Okay, so Giselle, this is an easy lesson. Taking a mixed number and turning it into an improper fraction. And by the way, you guys will be happy to know that as you get into the upper grades, mixed numbers go away.
Yay!
Yeah, I mean, not completely, but pretty much you don't really need to write things into mixed numbers. But you may take some mixed numbers and you'll do exactly what we're getting ready to do today, and that's this. Oh, my pen went off. Hold on. All right, so I'm going to take that number, that mixed number, and I'm going to turn it into an improper fraction. And everybody follow these steps and look at this. This is exactly how you do it. You take your whole number, you multiply it by your denominator. What does that equal?
15.
15, and then you add 15 to the top number, which then becomes 18, and you leave the bottom number the same, and there is your improper fraction now. That equals 3 3/5. Now, was that hard?
Mm,
Giselle, what are you confused about?
I can do
That
that.
make sense?
No.
He said no? How could it not make sense? Perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, watch. All right, Giselle, what was the first step I told you to do? Oh, you weren't listening well, huh? Okay, pay attention now. You ready? You take your whole number, which is what? What's your whole number?
5.
And you multiply it by the denominator. So what would that be? What's 5 times 4? I can't hear you. You got to speak up.
20.
20, is that what you said?
Yeah.
All right, then add it to the top number, which is 1. So 20 plus 1 is?
21.
All right, and then you just put that bottom denominator there under the 21. Make sense now? See, I told you it wasn't hard, was it? Okay, here we go then. You guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
I am going to give you 2, and then you are going to do the number. I mean, do the operation that I asked you to do. So close your eyes while I write it on here.
Wait, what do we do?
I'm going to give you some to do, and then I'm going to have you figure it out. And then we're going to, as soon as I have you, I wanted to change it to improper fraction, and then I want you to do the operation that it has you do, okay?
Mr. Ronald, I'm just gonna do what we always do in class.
All right, go. Change to improper fractions first. Nope, that's wrong, David. I don't know how you got 4 as an answer. You're subtracting 3, and you're subtracting from 3. Oh, you added.
It's your turn.
Okay, that would be correct. Lena, that's correct.
Mr. John.
That's correct. Yuri, that's
Mr.
correct. Schlock, that's correct. Nathan. That is not correct, Aegis. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I'm sorry. I misread the top number. That's correct. That's correct, Elijah. And that's correct, David. Now you got it. Good job. Okay. I don't see Elizabeth here. Her picture. Giselle, that is incorrect. What did you Giselle, do each number individually first? Convert each number individually.
I did.
So what did you get for the first one?
4 1/5.
No. How do you get 4 1/5? What are you talking about?
2 1/5.
No, you don't. You change it to an improper fraction first. Remember, that's what I said to do. Change both numbers into an improper fraction first. Okay, so change the first one and change the second one. And tell me what you got for each one as you do it. All right, Ella, go ahead. Okay. So what do you got, Giselle, for that first number?
5 17.
Sorry, you have what?
5 17.
How do you have 5 17ths? Why'd you put the 17 on the bottom? I know, you don't know, right? So do what I told you before. You multiply the whole number by the denominator, and then add it to the numerator for each one. So what did you get for the first one?
17 5.
Okay, so 17 over 5, all right. So what about the second one? So what's 1 times 5?
5
Plus 3.
8
So
5.
8 goes on top, 5 on the bottom. So now you have a common denominator.
Yeah.
All right, so what's 17 minus 8?
9.
Okay, you got it. So that's your answer is 9/5. All right, you guys ready? I'm gonna try one more. Cover your faces. Cover your faces. Yuri, cover that face.
What? Stink bugs are flying in my window.
What's that? Stop drawing on my board.
When you were teaching language, 2 stink bugs flew into my window. And just right now, 1 stink bug flew in my window.
Maybe they smelled you and they are attracted to you.
I have a closed window.
Anyway, can you cover your face?
I already did.
Oh, okay. Stop drawing on my board. Pay attention. I want you to convert them first. Stop drawing on my board. Who keeps doing that? I think you're probably doing it accidentally. All right, go. Bless you.
Thank you.
Mr. Jones.
Leave it as an improper fraction. Let me see who. Okay, I said leave it as an improper fraction. And no, 51 is not the answer. That's correct, David.
Mr. Rome.
That's incorrect, Schlock. As an improper fraction, Nathan.
What?
Improper fraction. That's correct, Giselle. Good job. Look at that. See, girl, you got it. Good job. You even beat some other people. Okay, that's correct, Tejas. That's correct, Alina. That's correct, Elijah. That's correct, Yuri. That's correct, Nathan. See who hasn't given me their answer yet.
Mr. Rome.
Who was that? Okay,
Yeah.
that's correct, Epic Partner. However, I understand. I heard a rumor. Tell me whether it's true or not. Your sister couldn't watch her YouTube videos because you were on YouTube for like hours in the evening. Is that true?
Yeah.
Ah, how rude. Did you get in trouble for that?
No.
You didn't?
No.
Not yet. You just wait. Wait till your mom sees your progress report. Then you might find out.
She already checked. I agreed.
All right, you're good, Elizabeth. Good job. And Ella, you're good. Okay. I think that's everybody, isn't it? I haven't seen it. Is Angelica still here or no? Let's see her. Okay. All right, well, that's it. Does anybody have any questions about anything?
Nope.
No? All right. So go ahead and have a nice weekend. It's supposed to be really warm today in the upper 70s and in the 80s tomorrow and Sunday and in the upper 70s on Monday again. So make sure that you enjoy that time. I will leave the meeting. You guys can keep talking if you want. Have a good weekend. See you on Monday.
Bye.
Bye.